Hello everybody, welcome back to my page, welcome back to my channel. Now today, I'm coming at you guys with a late review, a very, very late review of the movie Sinners and things like that. I didn't really have time to watch this movie opening weekend. It was Easter weekend and things like that when this movie was announced. And so like I didn't really have time to give y'all a review on, my full thoughts of said movie. But like, nevertheless, I am here now to give y'all my thoughts on the movie Sinners. I had my eyes on this movie since, for like a few weeks when I saw the trailer for it and things like that and didn't know much about the movie and things like that. I'm tempted to, still give any slight spoilers. Maybe I might do some spoilerish things, but then I want to do a complete deep dive over this movie from, start to finish. That video is going to take lots of time and more editing and stuff like that. So look out for that though. But I'm just gonna give y'all my overall thoughts on said movie, my overall thoughts on this project and things like that. And it's still trending right now as we're talking and things like that though. So I really, really wanted to just, get the ball rolling and give y'all my opinion on this movie and things like that. But before I do, there is something I actually just wanted to just say real quick, and just to bring some people's awareness though. Can somebody, make sure Melanie Mack is okay? Can somebody make sure Jeremy and Friday Night Tights and Nerd Erotic and Critical Drinker is okay? Cause y'all have been real silent about this movie though. This movie is screaming with DEI and wokeness though, but y'all been very silent though. Can I, in my Joker voice, I gotta say like this: a year ago, you guys would have demolished a woke movie like this. I mean, what happened? Did your balls drop? Okay, yeah, that's my Heath Ledger Joker impression. So I just want to just get that away right, get that out of the way just for the moment, though. Okay, so as a whole, what did I think of the movie Sinners and things like that? And now I went into this movie, extremely cold. Okay, I didn't really know much about the movie to begin with and things like that. I've seen a little bit of a trailer, but I want to go in cold. I want to go in not knowing much, and I was not disappointed. All right, you have to go and see this movie. This movie is an alchemical marvel. Oh my god, this movie is so good. I don't even know where to even start with you guys. This movie is possibly like the best we've had so far. And this has been kind of, a boring year so far. We're in, April and nothing really good has came up. And so it's been bomb after bomb. So it's very rare to have, a movie like this come out, in April of all places. Though they could have, they could have saved this movie for the summertime. They could have saved this movie for, December. But I'm happy it came out at April so we can get something good to 2025 can, prosper and things like that, okay? And so I'm very, 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 very pleased with this movie, all right? It was directed by Ryan Coogler, who was actually not to toot my own horn, but Ryan Coogler, he's from Oakland, California. And I'm also from Oakland, California. He went to, me and him went to the same high school, Oakland Tech and things like that. He's about 15 years older than me, so like I was already, and he was already long gone out of high school by the time I went to Oakland Tech though. So like not to toot my own horn though, but he is Bay Area representing things like that. And he first stepped on the scene as far as I'm concerned with the movie Fruitville Station and things like that. Fruitville Station was a story of Oscar Grant who was killed who was a victim of police brutality back in um January of 2009, and I was just a kid when that happened, and the Bay Area was on the edge, and so it really was a huge ordeal when that trial and stuff happened, though. And Ron Coogler wanted to get his hands dirty and direct, a movie about, Oscar Grant, like the last few hours leading to his death. And then so the movie did really good, and then Michael B. Jordan was in that movie, and then Ryan Coogler, then he began working on freaking Black Panther. I mean, not Black Panther. A Creed, a Rocky sequel, and doing something different. And of course, Michael B. Jordan was in that, and I really enjoyed the first Creed movie. And then he did a Black Panther movie, which he had a small budget for Black Panther, but he excelled well. And what I really love about Ryan Coogler is that he is known for working within his restraints, because he's given a quote unquote small budget from these movie studios, and they tell him this is all we're gonna give you and go wild, and he makes the best what he can do with a small budget. I loved Black Panther when it came out. I wasn't a huge fan of Wakanda Forever, but though nevertheless I loved it though, and then so he's back at it again with the movie Sinners. And the movie Sinners is is such a spiritual, mental and social commentary journey I've ever seen from a movie. All right, so many subliminal messages, so many things about culture and vibration and and racism and facing inner demons and even religion and what religion really looks like. Can you walk with the devil on Saturday and knowing the Lord on Sunday? And it's all things that appeal to the black people's psyche. And it was just such an alchemical marvel and things like that. I really enjoyed a lot of it, a lot of the messages it had to say. And there were moments in the film where it was psychedelic, and I felt like, just like in Black Panther, it should have been way more psychedelic. All right, I really love psychedelics and astral projection, spirit realm. I really encourage you to at least eat an edible or smoke a little bit of Mary Jane before you see this movie. It's a better experience. But then again, I'm just like like a psychedelic advocate, so he should have done more with that though. And lots of things in this movie just felt like, I wasn't prepared for this spiritual journey. I wasn't prepared for, a lot of delve into the psyche and what it means to be black in America and what it means to live in a world with, Europeans. And even there was social commentary on a lot of white people who can energy suck life out of black people, and they're not really here to be our allies. They're just here to give the illusion that we're friends and put up the facade of equality when there is no equality. And this movie took place in 1931 in the South, and I really love period pieces of the South, Louisiana and Alabama during the 1940s or 50s. Banjo playing, Jew joints. The Jew joint scenes reminded me of The Color Purple. The Jew joints just remind me of dirty South, rugged, and music and things like that. So it was very phenomenal, very uplifting from that angle and things like that though. So it was very beautiful and things like that. I was just really Ryan Coogler, he outdone himself. And props to Michael B. Jordan. This man is just on a roll though. Michael B. Jordan though, like he's possibly could be on the verge of being up there with the greatest of the greatest actors, black male actors, in terms of notoriety and versatility and Oscar winning performances, up there with Denzel Washington and things like that. Because his performance, he plays two twin brothers in this movie and things like that. And he did a very good job differentiating between the twin brothers. I was able to tell for the most part though, when an actor plays, the same character, twin brothers, or another character, is that like it's just like in the okay, it's just like it's just like it's easy to spot the freaking it's not authentic, it's not believable. But when I watched this movie, I was really able to tell which brother was which brother and things like that. Sorry about that. In the background, I got distracted. Somebody came and just distracted me. But it was easily able to tell which brother was who though. So he did a fantastic job playing two characters where I can tell, oh, that's that brother, that's that brother, and things like that. So it was very good. It was very good from that angle though. So props to Michael B. Jordan. I can't wait to see what other project he does though. It's just like anything him and Ryan Coogler do together, it turns to gold. Like, I'm really shocked. It is very rare to have an actor and a director who work together on many projects, and every single project they have done turns to gold. Fruitville Station, Creed, Black Panther, and now Sinners. Like it, I'm blown away. I'm really blown away though. I'm really blown away though, y'all. This movie is probably the best movie pre-pandemic. It's probably the best movie of the year. Huge contender. Huge contender. And there's one statement I want to make though, and I'm gonna make that bigger statement when I do my my spoiler video and just deep dive into every single aspect of this movie I can talk about though, is that like for starters though, they tried to say that it's considered woke and DEI higher to have an all black cast and have a political message and social commentary in a movie. Those movies usually don't do well and things like that, all right? And Sinners just destroyed the box office this past week, all right? Those the talk of the town. It did well from black people, and when I went to see the theater, a lot of white people liked it too. Though it's really, really doing well. And this should be a message to Hollywood: is that like we can have original storytelling, we can have black movies, and have a social commentary about racism, cultural appropriation, and blood sucking vampires, and even spirituality in our community and the negatives of black community, and it do well because take it from these anti-woke grifters on YouTube is that these movies traditionally don't do well and it's bad and we don't want to see more of this though. So this just shut their arguments down all the way down. I noticed though anything with a black lead they talk about though because they dragged that movie with Viola Davis playing a black female president though. They had a huge boner for that and they murked that over all over YouTube and social media. But when it comes to Sinners, well, as far as me making this video, oops, what the heck just happened? I'm getting Google Images, y'all. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, my bad. But as far as the movie Sinners, they've been very, very quiet. I haven't seen the grifters talk about this movie, and this is right up their alley. In an almost entire black cast with little to no white people, and the white people who are in this movie, they're the quote unquote bad guys that can be considered woke. Though they've been very, very quiet though, so it's very interesting to see how long they're going to go without talking about this movie, or they're even going to address it though, because everything they say that we can't do is that we're excelling in these fields and things like that. And I'm very, very curious. I'm very, very curious for them to break their silence to talk about this film. Is it DEI higher? Because like majority of the main characters are, people of color and freaking other minority groups though. I mean, you have black twin brothers, a black love interest, and a white woman with black ancestry. And then you have two Asian people and things like that. And the white people who are in this movie are bad guys. And then you have some Native American representation and things like that. This is just screaming with DEI, wokeness, Hollywood pushing a political agenda, but it did well. It did well. And you guys are always saying, why they always waste swapping characters? Can black people have their own stuff? And can we do something different? Can they do something different? Well, we just did. And are y'all satisfied? It reminds me of in my freaking what's the term I'm looking for? In my freaking gladiator voice. Are you not entertained? It really is. Are you not entertained? This movie is just so freaking good, y'all. You have to go and see it. All right though, because psychological thrillers and political message movies are just freaking garbage. Like we don't need another Conjuring. We don't need another Exorcist. We don't even need another remake of a property though. This is what we want from Hollywood. The original stories with black people, original everything with black people, and this shows that we can carry a box office. This shows that we can carry a box office, though. I love the circuit 1930s, with, the old time cars, the juke joints, old guns, and the southern setting and things like that. And, like, there's always going to be more gators in the bayou. I have family from Louisiana and Alabama and Texas, so this movie hits really home to me though. And as much and Haley Steinfeld as the white woman with black ancestry, I could have done without her. If I'm really being honest, I really feel like her role should have went to someone like Megan Good or a Christina Milian or even freaking Janelle Aiko or Danielle Monet and things like that. Or even freaking Zendaya though, because I feel like this is almost a perfect cast. We could have done without, I don't care what her ancestry is though. Some people saying that she can pass as a mulatto or she can pass as, a white person with mixed ancestry. I don't see a white woman with black mixed ancestry. When I look at Haley Steinfeld, I see a white woman. I could have done without her in this movie if I'm being honest though, but she did do her thing, and she had that charisma, and she was believable in her role. So I'll let them have this one and things like that though. And Michael B. Jordan though, like, has his career written in stone, has his career written in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I can't wait to see what he's going to do next in his career. He's really, really good. He's really, 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 really good. And I already know a lot of black women they're gonna be like, oh, two Michael B. Jordans, let me get a piece of that cake though. So it's all like, brother, and I gotta work out twice as hard, hit the gym twice before I can even get to your stature and things like that though. So you hold it down though and stuff like that. And he's not slowing down. He's not slowing down from Fruitvale Station, Creed, and Black Panther. This nigga is doing it all though. Michael B. Jordan is that nigga. Michael B. Jordan is that nigga. Michael B. Jordan is that nigga. And there really is no, a com competing movie that can top this though. Right now though, maybe The Accountant 2 that's coming out tomorrow. Only that can tell though. But it's just like, yeah, this movie is just I really can't stress this out to me. You have to go and see it. There's very few movies I can say, the theater experience is the best because we live in a day and age where streaming is there. People just say, I'll just wait for this movie to come on streaming and just don't want to leave the comfort of their home. But we live in a post C19 world to where, money is scarce, inflation is bad though. But I just tell you, just take time out your wallet in your pocket and go and see this movie. All right, though, dude, please, please, especially black people. If you want to see more stories like this, more movies like this, just go and do it though, y'all. I was almost ready to bust out and speaking in tongues and just say all that. Well, yeah. So yeah, that's that though. So this is my Sinners movie review. And as always, if you like this video, like and subscribe. And I'm definitely doing a deep dive of this movie, of a lot of its subliminal messages and the message they're trying to convey. Because Ryan Coogler had a story with this one. All right, though. He had a story with this one. And he's one of those directors where every single movie he has made is different genres and has a different story to be told. With Fruitvale Station, it was just a black man living his everyday life before his last day on earth when he was killed by a cop. And then when Creed, boxing movie and things like that, Black Panther, a freaking superhero movie and things like that. And then you have Sinners, which is a psychological social commentary and love letter to old southern black culture in the 1930s and 40s and things like that. This has never been done. Ryan Coogler is that nigga. He is holding down Oakland. Oh my God. Okay. I'm out of here. Y'all. Like and subscribe, share the video, and I will be coming back with my deep dive though. And like I said before in this video though, Geeks and Gamers, OK Outpost, Friday Night Tights, Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker. You guys say diversity sucks. You guys say a diverse cast is not what we're looking for in Hollywood. They don't do good though. So I'm waiting for y'all. I'm waiting for the grifters to chew this movie up though. I'm waiting for this movie. Y'all been quiet. Y'all been quiet. This is screaming with DEI. But that's that. So I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.